and I've got my bare minimum done, and I can walk away from the rest. Now, I don't want to do that every week, but I can do it. My house got picked up. It's being maintained. I know what food I have on hand. I know that the grocery pickup is still going to happen. The bare minimum is happening. And so breathe and pivot. Welcome to Simply Living Homestead, where we empower homesteaders and preserve traditions. I'm your host, Amanda Carlin, and I help homesteading families bring peace and order to their lives. My friend, are you overwhelmed with all the tasks on your homestead? Do you wish for a mentor to guide you through the tough moments each day? Then you've come to the right place. Together, we will learn to organize our homestead, love our families well, and walk in the peace of God. If you're ready to get unstuck from the constant feeling of overwhelm, then join us each week as we explore practical advice, inspiring stories, and heartfelt encouragement to help you thrive. Let's grow a sustainable, meaningful life together, both in the home and on the homestead. Welcome back to the homestead. How is your summer going? It is squarely in July at this point, and we're in the heat of the summer. We are up and going. What interesting projects do you have? What are you working on? I am very curious to hear all about it. And today I'm going to tell you a little bit about what is going on our homestead. It has been a week, and that is saying something considering that I am sitting here on a Tuesday evening to quickly record this podcast for you. Did you miss me last week? It was July 4th last weekend, and life has gotten chaos. And I didn't have one recorded. I didn't have one published, and so I skipped. And here I am going, I don't have time to record another podcast, not the one I wanted. So hopefully next week we will be back with the Homestead Dairy series. But today I thought that I would tell you a little bit about what is going on with our life right now. So like I said, it is the middle of July, and it has been a lot this week. Our summer apple tree, our Lodi apple tree, has produced fruit. It was ready to pick, and so Monday we picked the tree, and then I sat down and I did some work online, my back end, Monday afternoon. And on one of the previous episodes, I talked about how I time block my week and what I do to make sure that I kind of get everything done. And this week, I knew that it was going to be crazy. This is the second week that my husband has been off work. He works in a factory. He doesn't work on the factory floor, but he does work in a factory setting. And so they had 2 weeks off for the holiday, their summer break. And this has been great. I've loved having him home. And we were like, let's do some things before you go back to work. And so I knew that I had a lot of things that needed to be done this week. I knew that the apples were going to need to be picked. And so I sat down Sunday evening and I planned my week out. I planned it out extremely tightly. I made plans with friends. I knew what I was doing when. And I knew that I didn't have a lot of work time this week to record podcasts, to get things organized, to do promotions and that sort of stuff for our dairy. And so I was very carefully looking at these time blocks going, when can I do what? And Monday went the way that it was supposed to go. Everything hit the time blocks that it was supposed to do. I'm very proud of myself. I hit everything that I was supposed to hit. And I had the entire week planned out. And today I woke up late because my son stepped on a bee last night, and I am allergic to bees. Not so much that I need to carry an EpiPen yet, but I will swell up like a balloon in the affected area, and it will like kind of lay me out. Anyway, he stepped on a bee yesterday, and didn't immediately swell up, but that night, last night, his foot was completely swollen. And so we were awake for a little while with him screaming, and he has an aversion to meds. And so it was really hard to even give him Benadryl or something to help bring down the swelling. And anyway, so I woke up late. That was problem number one. And then we were going to do applesauce. Now, I had planned on this. I had dedicated all day to applesauce. Monday was my husband's birthday, and we were going to have a birthday supper tonight. We were going to go out to eat, the whole family, my parents, my siblings, and us. And we were going to just work on applesauce all day, and we were going to do that. And here's the thing. We did that. All right. But we had 7.5 bushels of apples from this tree. Now, it has been a while since this tree has produced, but that was a lot, and it was just me and my mom, and then my sister did help a little bit. So that happens, and we are getting close to wrapping up. We've done 3 bushels. We're shot, we're tired, we're going, oh great, we didn't plan for a second day. And a brother of mine walks to the basement and goes, nobody went down after the storm. We had 3 inches of rain last night. Nobody went down to the basement. Yep, you can see where this is going. Basement was flooded. Because of the move that we had in January, there is still a ton of boxes in the basement. The basement had kind of become a holding zone for things that we hadn't sorted yet. I guess we get to sort it now. So, there's a lot of water in the basement. Most of it had just been soaked up by the boxes or the carpet or whatever. There wasn't any standing water, but it's wet. It is a mess. And we have applesauce to still do. We still have 4 bushels of apples to do. That is so many when you're 2 people turning them into applesauce. So why am I telling you all of this? The thing is that I had planned to, Jonathan and I, we're going to go to an aquarium tomorrow. On Thursday, our local county fair is in session. We were going to hang out with some friends. I was going to get a little bit of online work done. On Friday, I was going to dedicate the whole day to it. And then that evening, Jonathan and we're going to go to the fair. And I think some of those things are still going to happen. But with the apples not being done and the basement needing attention, it's not going to work the way that I thought it was going to work. And I'm telling you all of this because at one point I would have been really bent out of shape with this happening. This would have completely destroyed my week. And frankly, it has completely dismantled my week. The new plan is that we're still going to go out tomorrow. I have bought tickets. We have, Emerson has a doctor's appointment in the morning. We were going to do the doctor's appointment. We were going to go to the aquarium. We're going to do it. We're going to just walk away. Mom has some things she has to take care of. Those boxes are going to just have to sit there wet, and we're going to just have to go through them. My dad has to go buy shelving anyway. So tomorrow, we're going to basically function the way that we expected. And then we're going to pivot. And what I thought I was going to get accomplished, what I thought I needed to get accomplished, is apparently not the thing. And I am really thankful for the fact that I sat down and I time blocked out my week. Because I know exactly what I can stop. I know what I need to do for my business at the bare minimum. The bare minimum is I need to put out a podcast. Hi, you're listening to it now. Thank you for being here. That's the bare minimum. The rest of the stuff can wait till next week. If the Lord demands of it to wait till next week, it can wait till next week. I wanted to run like a big promotion on my milk. I wanted to get more people in. I want to sell more. because I think I need the money. And my records say that I really should. But apparently God says no. And I don't know that it's no. It's probably just wait. But to be able to stop and take a breath and go, you know what? I can have my friend that was supposed to meet us at the fair pick up Emerson, and he can still go and enjoy the fair. I can just stay home. I can record the podcast tonight and schedule the email Wednesday for our Friday launch. And I can do that Wednesday evening right after Emerson goes to bed or something. And I've got my bare minimum done, and I can walk away from the rest. Now, I don't want to do that every week, but I can do it. My house got picked up. It's being maintained. I know what food I have on hand. I know that the grocery pickup is still going to happen. The bare minimum is happening. And so breathe and pivot. The idea that a situation isn't going to completely derail and destroy everything that I've worked on and all of my planning is just, it feels like such a foreign concept to me to just be living this and talking to you about it, that it's not life altering. It doesn't feel that way. Is it frustrating? Yeah, it is. But the more I engage in this lifestyle of homesteading and motherhood and homemaking, the more I realize that those sorts of things happen a lot more than I'd like to admit. And it is a real skill to be able to breathe. Take a deep breath and then pivot. And just pivot. Where am I going to go? What is the thing that needs to get done now? What do I have to do? So what are you working on right now? What is that thing that you feel like has to get done? And then something that is actually more important comes up. And how do we respond? We could yell, but it doesn't really do any good. It oftentimes doesn't even make us feel good. Or we can breathe, and then we can pivot. And we can say, what can we shift? What can we change? What can we do so that the things that are necessary to get done, get done? So what are you working on? I've asked that a few times, and I would love to hear what you are working on your farm. Calves are getting weaned. I need to go out and trim some branches off the trees while we were out there picking. I realized that there was some dead stuff that I missed, and it would be super easy to just trim it now while I can see that it's, dead, instead of dormant and then going, was that one dead? I don't know. Our garden is producing. The corn is above my head. It has rained so much here in Iowa, and I am not going to pretend to think that we have had the most amount of rain in the United States. I'm not even going to pretend to say that, but it is the middle of July, and we just had 3 inches of rain. That's not normal for what has been happening year after year here. I know that it's happened before, sometime in my 28 years of life, but that's not been normal the last couple of years. Everything is still really green. We have done trimming. We have done some moving of the chickens. Our chicks are almost all integrated. We've got one more batch of chicks to be integrated in with the flock, and that's going to be all wrapped up. I am currently weaning 2 of our 5 calves, and over the next month and a half, we will wean the rest of them out. We're going to have 5 new calves out on pasture. I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited for what that means of being able to calm down and with the chores and stuff. Peas have finished. All of our spring garden has finished, and the green beans are putting on flowers. Frankly, by the end of the week, we're probably going to have to pick green beans. We are hitting the thick of summer. We are hitting the thick of it. It is starting to just ramp up. And when that happens on the homestead, one, the longer you do this and the better your systems are and the more that you put in place and the better foundations that you lay so that your house stays maintained, your property stays maintained, even when things are chaos, you can kind of then learn to flow with the seasons. The fact that winter is always way slower than July and August. It just is. July and August are crazy. They're crazy on the homestead. You're ramping up. You're doing all these things. You're trying really hard to get everything preserved as quickly as possible because the next thing is coming. And when you do not have a good system, which I didn't have for years, so I know what this feels like. When you don't have a good system, it just feels like it is one downpour after another, one just torrential like tsunami of just one thing after another. And now that I am like getting these foundational pieces set up of time management and stuff management and then family relation management, and I am getting all of those things lined up, it is a lot easier for me to then see and accept the ebbs and flows of the seasons. The fact that like as I'm taking notes and I'm trying to take slightly more detailed notes, and I'll take even better ones next year, I'm sure of it, of like, this is what I need to expect in July, in August. How can I adjust the load of the other things so that these things are taken care of? I'm not going to dust my house very often in July and August, even though probably the dustiest months. Why? Because I'm not inside my house a whole lot anyway. If I'm going to have guests over, we're going to eat out by the fire. Like, chances are no one's seeing it anyway. And as long as it's not like getting all over my hands and clothes, I don't care. You give and take, people. You breathe and you pivot and you ask yourself, what is important? What do I need to take care of to make sure that my people have the best that they can have in this situation, that I can have the best that I can have in this situation? Like, what is the thing that needs to happen? So if you would like to share what you are working on, maybe hear even a little bit about my crazy that's been happening, one, reach out to me. Connect at simplyliving.homestead.com. Reach out to me. Tell me your story. Tell me the crazy things that you're working on. Tell me the insane thing that like made you go, I had a week planned out. I knew everything that I was going to do, and now it's not happening that way. Tell me all about it. If you'd like to hear more of my stories and my adventures, I am working on putting together a newsletter, a weekly newsletter that's actually a newsletter where we're going to have like some what's new with Amanda and some, what's new on the homestead, and then like what new on the things that like the content that I'm releasing and stuff, like an actual newsletter. That's what I was supposed to work on this week, but I guess it will maybe start next week. But if you would like to start receiving that, if you're not already signed up for my newsletters and all of my email publications, simplyliving.homestead.com. There should be a form right there at the top of the page that you can fill out to get on that, the newsletter, and hear all the crazy things that we are working on here at Simply Living Homestead in the middle of Iowa, in the middle of July, in the middle of all the crazies. And I hope that you can embrace it too, and that you can breathe and take a deep breath and go, you know what? The dishes need done, the laundry needs done, the dog needs fed, but I'm going to go take a walk and I'm going to breathe. And then I'm going to pivot and we're going to do the things that need to get done. And we'll feed the dog while we're at it. I hope that you have a wonderful week this week. I hope that your summer treats you fabulous. And thank you so much for being a part of the family and the neighborhood here at Simply Living Homestead. We'll see you next week. Well, neighbor, before you head out, I just want to say how much I've loved spending this time with you. If you too enjoyed our time together, don't forget to give us a follow and leave a quick review on your favorite podcast player. It really helps more women like us find their way to a simpler, more joyful life. And hey, if you know someone who'd enjoy this episode, why not share it with them? Let's keep growing this circle of encouragement together. Oh, and don't forget to join my email list. I've got some free printables and weekly tips waiting for you to help you live a purposeful, balanced life, one rooted right in the heart and home. Thanks for being here, friend. You're doing a great job. I can't wait to chat again next week here at the Simply Living Homestead.